In 2250, Earth is a poisoned tomb. But within our walls, life endures. This is my fight, our last hope.
Day 6. The soil's worse than yesterday. The meter's screaming red. Whatever hope we had, it's fading into ash. We're growing poison now. But as long as it looks clean enough, Neo-Eden will pay. That's all they care about. They sit behind walls of filtered air and filtered lies, watching us like insects. But they never touch the dirt. A scout drone. It tagged the red zone again. That means they'll burn it. No refund, no warning, just fire. They said last week's batch barely passed. Their hands trembled when they spoke, but they still hoped. Hope's expensive out here. This one failed. No argument, no appeal. Just another week with less food than we need, and more fear than we can carry. We feed the city. We bleed in silence. They call it balance. I call it theft. Ilara's voice came through the static. They're watching you. You're getting too close to something they don't want found. She always was the smart one. Could have been a scavenger. Could have been a ghost. Out here, both can kill you. I didn't wait to find out. They burned our crops, rejected our work, tracked our signals. Tomorrow, I stop surviving. I start pushing back. Something triggered the sensor last night. Too precise for a rodent, too silent for a scavenger. I told myself it was just wind, but the tension in my jaw says otherwise. Fresh prints. Human. Whoever it was, either reckless or confident. That sound, it wasn't there before. Not one of ours. Not from the city either. It saw me. That's not a scout. It's a hunter. And I'm the target. No warning shot. That was a kill pulse. Someone authorized lethal use. Too fast. I only got one more shot before this thing overheats. They're scanning for my DNA signature. This wasn't a warning. It's a sweep. I kept this for emergencies. Guess we're there now. Who sent it? Neo-Eden? Or someone darker? Someone off record? Either way, they know who I am now. It wasn't just curiosity. I could feel it. We were being watched. Not one of ours. Too quiet. Too precise. If I'm lucky, it'll jam its uplink. If not, well, this gets loud. One less eye in the sky, but they'll know it went dark. Encrypted, military grade. This wasn't just surveillance. I had to get this to Ilara. If she could decrypt it, we might know who sent it. She looked tired, paranoid, like someone who'd been listening to footsteps all day. There it was, a surveillance grid. Not just us, they were mapping the entire outlands. We've been compromised. This wasn't about trade. They were planning a sweep. She told me to leave immediately. They were already rounding people up in Sector 12. The tunnel wasn't built for people, just cables. I wasn't supposed to be down here. No one was. Someone followed me, or something. I made one mistake, and now I'm not alone. 10 meters, moving fast, no breathing sounds. Not human? I couldn't fight in that tunnel. I had to vanish. I had to survive. If this place still had juice, I could reroute their surveillance, blind them for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. That's all the time I bought. I had to move, now. Every step felt louder than a scream, but the further I went, the more I felt I wasn't running away. I was running toward something. It wasn't just a figure. It was armored.
and waiting. That wasn't a scavenger. That was Neo Eden's cleanup unit, sent to erase problems like me. I didn't check if it was dead. I couldn't afford to. This rabbit hole went deeper and darker than I'd ever feared. Neo Eden didn't just bury the past. They left it unstable, ready to crush anyone who looked too closely. There was something here, a transmission, old but alive. Haven. That name hadn't been spoken in decades. The council said it was a myth, but there it was, in code. This wasn't just data. It was a message, a warning. They found me, and they weren't alone this time. I wasn't supposed to survive this. They'd written me off as noise, but I had the signal now, and that made me dangerous. Pain is a teacher, so is fire. I was learning both. If I followed the old freight lines, I could reach the outer perimeter, or die trying. There it was. Power, life, maybe even haven, but also the unknown. A voice, not Ilara, not command, just, Julian, if you hear this, we remember. I wasn't alone. This place wasn't dead. It was asleep, preserved, like someone knew I'd come. Not a corpse, no damage, just opened from the inside. Recently, they were tracking me, or worse, shepherding me. That wasn't a scout drone. It was armed. They expected resistance. A door, not on any map, sealed with military-grade encryption. And now it was open. She worked for them, before everything, before the collapse. They didn't build a utopia. They built weapons, and I was made from the same program. I had the truth in my hand, but truth doesn't stop bullets. They were faster, stronger, but I knew these corridors. I'd memorized the forgotten paths. They weren't ghosts, they were survivors, and they weren't sure if I was friend or threat. They didn't know me, but they knew the uniform, and they hated it. She tore the past off me like skin, and maybe I deserved it. Proof of haven, of experiments, of who betrayed who. No more myths, just evidence. She was alive, and she had lied to me. The truth didn't make me safer. It made me dangerous to everyone. Whatever trust I'd earned vanished in the sound of sirens. She still didn't trust me, but she needed me, and maybe that was enough. They moved like wolves, but they didn't know this cave had teeth. I'd killed before, but never for something I believed in. We bought time. That's all this was, but now we were in this together. We couldn't stay. Neo Eden wouldn't stop. There was only forward. She didn't say a word, but that small gesture weighed more than my gun. Old tunnels held new predators, human ones. They weren't from Neo Eden. They were just hungry. She didn't fight like a rebel. She fought like someone who'd lost everything. Every step cost us, sometimes in bullets, sometimes in blood. Either it would open, or it would kill us all. We expected a fortress. We found silence. They'd abandoned this place, or someone had driven them out. She knew I'd make it. She always knew. And now, she was calling me.
Another day done. More work tomorrow. Until then, stay safe and I'll see you in the next log.